sitting in the new ID Buggy. It's an electric Dune Buggy brought here by Volkswagen to New York City for the auto show to show off what's possible with the latest electric technology in a really fun package. But this video is not just about this car. This video is old versus new. I had the pleasure to talk with Bruce Meyers of the Meyers Manx Dune Buggy, the original one, the creator. And in this video, we're going to learn where the buggy came from and everything about this prototype right here. I'm going to start this video right here in the original Meyers Manx Dune Buggy. It's based on a VW Beetle, but it's actually its own thing. And I spoke to the original creator, Bruce Meyers. It was an incredible conversation because this is basically a kit that he sold, well, he created and then sold so people can build their own dune buggies. So they're actually invested in what they're doing and they're having fun and they're actually building something really cool. Check it out. What was the inspiration originally for the Manx?
Well, I was inspired by being around a bunch of crazy people.
Okay.
And the people were abalone divers that did strange things. I kind of watched them from a distance, enjoying the fact that they were always screwing up and doing some horrible thing. And then you wouldn't see them for 3 weeks because they're in jail or something. And I kind of like that. I think down deep, everybody would like to try to break the rules a little bit. And I'm basically an art student at that point.
Okay.
Many, many years in art schools. But I was all about fine art and drawing figures. The figure, to me, has to be more a sense of movement or stealth. The car had to be small with fat wheels because they'll have more flotation.
Yeah.
For traction and driving over the sand and so forth. So when I came about doing the thing, I was all hung up in making sure that it had a very strong feeling of adventure.
You're saying that it was part art, but part function also. I mean, you combine, you know, the look of it, but you wanted it to be functional as well, right?
Well, I'm pretty good at that too. You know, I've been building a lot of things with my hands most of my life.
Well, there's no electricity back here. This is a horizontally opposed VW engine, and you got your VW taillights here as well. Classic. What else can I say? Classic VW Dune Buggy. Where did the name come from? How did the Manx come about?
I was married to Shirley. Shirley Meyers, worked at Road and Track magazine.
Okay.
She was in charge of the advertising desk, and I'd worked on this thing for a year or so, and some of the guys had come down and seen what I was doing. So she went up to the office one day with a sheet of paper and went through everybody's desk and said, "We're looking for a name for the car." Well, out of about 33 people that worked at Road and Track, 4 of them came up with the word Manx.
Okay.
And I came walking in about 4:30 in the evening, and Elaine Bond, the publishing, she was the tiger of that place. She says, "It should be a Meyers Manx, Bruce." I said, "Come on, Elaine, I'm a little too shy for that. I don't need that." She said, "No, it'll be good for you someday."
This is actually a very interesting prototype because it's built on Volkswagen's new MEB electric architecture, which underpins some of their other fully electric vehicles that you've seen recently. But this is a two-wheel drive prototype, and Volkswagen has given a lot of specifications on it actually. It has a 62 kilowatt hour battery. The electric motor is around 201 horsepower, and if it was an all-wheel drive, it could have up to 300 horsepower, which would be very interesting. And it has a range of about 155 miles, depending on your rating and how you use this Dune Buggy. And a 0 to 62 miles an hour time of about 7.2 seconds. So why would they give all these specifications, very detailed, for something that's a prototype or a concept? Well, they're hoping that there will be a third party that actually will build something like this. So basically VW outsources the chassis, another company picks it up, builds something unique like this, and it's going to be a specialty vehicle available to the public. And that's going to be very interesting if that actually happens.
What do you think about the new one, the green electric buggy?
You know what? The first thing is that it says they know who Bruce Meyers is.
They acknowledged it.
I guess.
Fully.
Yeah, but it's so perfect the way it's built. It's so beautifully styled. I'm not sure I would agree with all of the style, but that's the difference in us.
Yes.
Artists are like that, and but I think the size of it's a little bit much. But
it's a little big.
yeah. You know, I just would rather keep it closer to the size of this thing, not say that I have anything to do with it. But it's wonderful that Volkswagen has come along with the agreement that Bruce Meyers had something to do with the Dune Buggy.
Okay, so there's a big difference between the old and the new, and its size. The original Meyers Manx is actually pretty small and really fun sized, but getting out of it could be a little bit of an issue because it still has the roof on. I can bend myself all the way, and then with a little bit of practice, actually it's not too bad. Well, this is still a prototype, but it has a few really functional pieces. It's got floor mats. It has a hazard button here. I really love the pedals. It's got the pause and the play button for brake and gas. It's pretty amazing. It's got the cup holders. But let me get out and see. It should be a lot easier. Yeah, this opening is a lot larger, so no problem getting in and out.
Children recognize this immediately. Isn't that interesting? A lot of adults, they look and they see, they come around, but they're not instant like children, little children, 6, 7, 8 years. There's a story about a Manx that was driving around the world, and he had come out of Europe and gone into North Africa, and it was driving south into southern Africa, and it came into a little village, a grass hut village, and it's a bright red shiny Manx like this, and the children saw the thing coming out, and they came out of the huts, little kids, to touch it and laugh. And as the car slowly went through the whole village, it gathered up children. When they got to the south end of the village, there was a military checkpoint, and there's a rifleman standing there with a big gun and the gate behind him. And he sees 50 children in this red Dune Buggy come to him, and all the kids stop and laugh and say goodbye, and he just opens the gate and he passes them through without asking a damn question. like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here, but I guess it's all right.
Like you said, maybe the children are drawn to it because it kind of looks like a toy.
It has toy-like quality.
And I have a son too, and a daughter, and I can tell they are drawn to unique vehicles. You know, vehicles that stand out in some way.
You're going to make me cry.
Oh. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Well, quite obviously the ID Buggy is actually a lot larger in physical size. Just look at the space behind the front seats. I mean, it's still a two-seater, but you've got miles of space here, including a big trunk back here. That's what the electric platform lets you do. The electric motor is down low, the batteries are down low, and you can actually build the whole car around it. I'm kind of a truck guy, and whenever I see anything with a BFG KO2 all-terrain tire, I'm immediately drawn to it. Well, this is a bright green buggy. Of course, I love it. but it's riding on these KO2s, which is really impressive. I mean, this really is meant to be a functional vehicle if it's ever reaching production. Nice. So let's review. The ID Buggy is much bigger, it's more powerful, it's probably also a lot quicker, and it's electric. That means it's quiet. I haven't driven it obviously, but what do you guys think? The old or the new? Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the original small Meyers Manx or this future ID Buggy electric Dune Buggy? Let me know in the comments below. I had an amazing time speaking with Bruce Meyers. It was a special experience I will never forget, and I learned so much. I can see the vision of the original Dune Buggy and how it's transforming itself into what you see here, which is electric, is really actually pretty big, and could be a lot of fun. Go back to TFLcar.com for more news, views, and real-world car reviews.